Kansas City Chiefs fall 22-19 to the Denver Broncos in a crucial AFC West matchup, falling to 5-5, a game out of the 7th spot in the playoffs. Game and a half now to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are in a deep, deep hole. Kent Swanson here with Maddie Lane to break down everything Chiefs Broncos. Wow. Just stunned, man. Stunning. Accepting.
Yeah. I don't know. Still processing.
Yeah.
Processing where this goes. Because they might just be a bad football team. They might just simply not be good. I mean, I know the Chiefs a few years back had a similar record around a similar point in time. Were able to make a run off into the playoffs. And it's not mathematically impossible at this point in time, but it was hard to watch this game against Bo Nix and come away thinking the Chiefs have what it takes to make a run. And I'm sure we said the same thing, a couple years back when this happened, but man, I don't know. I think they might just simply be a bad football team. And it's crazy because last year they went to the Super Bowl and none of us liked how it went. We all saw the flaws in this team. We talked about the flaws week in and week out. I don't think anybody really expected them to necessarily turn it around and win the Super Bowl last year, but I don't know if they were ever a bad team last year. They wasn't pretty. It was gross. It was kind of a drag to watch at times, but they were never a bad team. This feels and looks like a bad team far more often than they look like a good team.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't have the same vibes. And hey, look, the Chiefs last season were remarkably successful in one-score games. And right now, I'm looking at it. They are 0-5 in one-score games in 2025, guys.
Yeah.
The regression from last year is stunning. And they were in another close one. They had a chance to go up. They had a chance to kill clock, up 19-16. Didn't do it. Didn't take care of business. 3 and out. Put themselves in another bad situation yet again. Didn't go attack the game. Didn't go make a big play when they needed one. And got. And the offense wasn't good enough. The defense wasn't good enough. This version of the Kansas City Chiefs has been not good enough far too many times this season. And it's been a shame to watch. It's been an absolute shame to watch this team so far this season because it's just, there was a stretch where it was fun. That 3-game win streak was fun. You thought things were turning the corner, dropping a bunch of points and averaging 29.5 points over 3 games. Man, they just love to find ways to lose football games. And this is another game that feels like they found an opportunity to lose. They had control of the football game again, blew it again against the Denver Broncos. Just disgusting. Just a disgusting performance from this team losing to the Denver Broncos. I can't stand it. I'm so irritated with this.
I want to get it out of the way, and I think because people are going to probably come in a little bit later and stuff like that. I want to get out of the way. Hey, credit to the Denver Broncos defense. They're missing their best player on the defensive side of the ball. Patrick Surtain not playing. They have no running game whatsoever to speak of, and they came out here and they beat the Chiefs, and they look like the better team for the vast majority, if not the entire football game, right? So, hey, good for them. They deserve some credit. Bo Nix probably played his second best game of the year against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's awesome. That's cool to have that on the belt, but he did. He made some plays and they had to have them. So the Broncos definitely deserved to win. This was not a game that they played terribly and just beat the Chiefs. I think neither team played their best version of themselves, their best football game, but I think the Broncos were better. And I think it's quite simply, I think we can kind of quit doing the Chiefs played down to a competition. The Chiefs shot themselves in the foot, yada, yada, yada. No, the Chiefs just aren't good enough to beat some teams in the NFL the way they're playing right now. They're just not. And I think this is one of those situations. And I think this particular game is incredibly frustrating because you lost before the game started. You lost on the offensive and defensive coaching staffs coming out of a bye week. You had a bye week to prepare for this game. You were the healthier team for this game, and you lost based on the decisions you made leading up to it. Yeah, we can talk about all the execution. I'm sure we're going to, but you lost this game based on your preparation and how you called it from the start. You got out coached before this even started, and you were coming off a bye week. How is that possible? How are you a coaching staff of a multiple Super Bowl winning team that has been to 3 straight Super Bowls? How are you getting out coached by this team coming off a bye when they didn't do anything special? You want to tell me that Buffalo caught you a little bit because of their defensive game plan last week? Okay, that's fine. We can buy that. But the Broncos did nothing different in this game that they do every single time. Their entire offense is play action, bootlegs, and screens with deep balls going over the top of it. And you still couldn't stop it consistently. You stopped it some, but not consistently. Their entire defensive game plan was the same stuff. They bring pressure when you go condensed off the slot. Hey, Spags does that a lot. Why were you not prepared? I couldn't tell you. And then you had nothing for them. You were getting nobody wide open. There was not a single time where the Chiefs are just, oh, here's a guy running wide open. When they made plays, it was because somebody ran a good route. Mahomes made a really good throw into semi-tight coverage. Like, they had nothing for this team, and the Broncos did nothing out of the ordinary. So it's just terrible coaching performance. I don't know what they did over the past 2 weeks, but it certainly wasn't get ready for this football game. It's a bad football team right now. Top to bottom.
The Chiefs started rough too. They didn't even have a good start to this game. They were sloppy coming out of the gate. Like the Andy Reid hallmark used to be, not anymore, hasn't been recently, success coming out of the bye. That's been one of the strengths of Andy Reid historically in Kansas City, and it's just not been recently. This was a sloppy football team. Penalties left and right to start this game. Just sloppy football. And hung around and didn't really get things going early in the first half. They shouldn't have been tied at the half with the Broncos, but they were. And this team's gotten very comfortable playing close games because of last year. And guess what? They're 0-5. That whole one-score regression thing has hit the Kansas City Chiefs the absolute hardest. And it wasn't anything special. It wasn't championship DNA. It was luck. There's no positive regression happening here in Kansas City. They're 0-5 in one-score games now. And it's gross, man. I mean, it's just gross. They don't have any answers. They have zero answers. They don't have an answer. 3rd and 15. You have an opportunity to get off the field. Your pass rush has been playing well, probably the best they played all year. You trust them. You try to get home with 4. You can't do it. And you let Bo Nix escape the pocket and throw wide open to Cortland Sutton, their best receiver. You have no answers. The answers they just didn't have any. Oh, hey, look, they had them good. They had them good on another 3rd down on that 3rd and 6 because they went fast motion. They knew the Chiefs were dropping out. They knew the Chiefs weren't bringing pressure. They caught them dropping out with the fast motion, and you've got Cortland Sutton again wide open.
That play was terrible because I don't know if the Broncos offense got the Chiefs defense near as much as much as the Broncos defense did, but Steve Spagnuolo wasn't shutting them down, but he was making it relatively difficult for the Broncos. It did not feel like the Broncos offense had a good read on this game, but you get to that final drive and that final 3rd down, it was crazy to me. The play call there and that situation, even if you're going to show a blitz but then back out, how is Nick Bolton not prepared that, if that motion comes across, he can't go from mugging the A gap to covering a slot wide receiver? It doesn't matter what it is. He's too far away from a slot wide receiver to get out there. So whether that's directly on him, whether that's on a safety that should come down and take it away against the fast motion, I don't know where the solution was for them and how they coached it. But that final 3rd and 6 play was absolutely terrible from a design standpoint. There was zero chance for Nick Bolton to ever take away any slot receiver, let alone the Broncos' best offensive player on that particular play. And I think that goes back to the thing again, bad football teams. Bad football teams don't have answers for that. Whether it's the coach, whether it's the players, we won't know. Bad football teams don't have answers to something that silly and simple, right? It was incredibly simple what the Broncos did, which again, credit to them for having that play in the tank and ready to go. But also the Chiefs did not have a planned answer or reactive answer. And that's a problem. That was a problem all game. It starts with It starts with the coaching staff because I don't think they did a good enough job. The players on the field did not execute well whatsoever, and we're going to talk a lot about that. But it still starts with that coaching staff, and what they put out there on the field or attempted to put on the field today was terrible. It was not a winning performance from the coaching staff. The only reason this game even got close was because Tyquan Thornton makes a great play on one of Mahomes' really good plays downfield to get them back in this game on a 3rd and long play. But outside that, nothing this coaching staff did put them in position to win. Nothing from special teams. God, the special teams, defense, offense, not a single thing a coach did on this team put them in a position to win this game. And that's a really hard spot to be in against a quality opponent.
Yeah, top to bottom, everyone shares a piece of this, right? The special teams was horrendous. The defense is not timely anymore. They're just not timely like they used to be. They haven't had answers. They haven't had players make plays to the same level that they have in the past. And offensively, man, I mean, this is one of the best defenses in football, right? This is one of the best defenses in football. You got to give some credit to them. And Vance Joseph's done an incredible job as the defensive coordinator there. But it just too far often just doesn't feel like the Chiefs have answers. And they certainly didn't today. And only put up 19 points in this game. And the defense, after Bo Nix has been embarrassingly bad and one of the worst quarterbacks in the AFC for most of the season, goes out and plays like that. And the Chiefs just let him. They don't have answers. They don't, they aren't consistently generating pressure. They aren't challenging in the secondary. Giving up a play to Troy Franklin, push off, by the way, by Troy Franklin. But I'm kind of glad they didn't let it happen. I'm kind of glad they let it happen. But, yeah, just processing the right thing. I know we do have some super chats in here we want to get to, so we'll let some people cook here. KT Lee gave us a couple bucks to tell us that the season is wraps.
Close.
Jordan Gardner, time to fully face the truth. This team is awful.
Not good.
Steven Steiner, you have to fire Andy Reid and Brett Veach. 5-5 with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. Time to save the Chiefs. Fly the fire, Andy and Brett Panders. Golly.
They won't do that, but they need to change some stuff.
Jordan Gardner, all things we've been complaining about the last few years that we've skated by with are all showing up for past due rents. I think I've said the Bills coming due on the Dynasty, and I think you're seeing that. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that, and it's probably not worth talking about at 5-5 in the middle of the season. And I'm sure some of it will bleed into like the discourse over the next month or two. I think there's some context here. Yeah, the bill is coming due on the Dynasty.
Well, but the thing with the bill coming due is expected. It's how hard it's hitting. It's how much it is. Yeah, that bill is coming back a lot more. They put the tip in there for you at 30%. They're not letting you change it. They put the gratuity in there for you. And you're like, wait a second. I didn't realize I was getting charged for every drink refill right now. I didn't know that getting cheese was extra. The sauce too. Like, this bill is a lot larger than I think anybody could have thought this year with the fall off that they are having. And hey, listen, before, I'm sure somebody somewhere is thinking it. I'm sure the team is a little tired because they've played a lot of football. They've done a lot of work. Teams have been going out of their way to beat them and figure them out. But man, you got to show a little bit more than they have this year. So like, yeah, the Bills do. It's just way more than I think anybody could have thought.
Jacob LaRue says Spags decided not to speed up Knicks that last drive. Let that sink in. Coach has been really, really bad in critical situations. Yep. Yeah, I think they were trying to trust the pass rush that had played better, and I think they tried to. I mean, they got beat bad on that little quick motion because I think they knew. I mean, they knew that they were dropping out. They knew it.
Right.
Again, they knew they were going to do it again.
But if you bring the pressure and you drop out a defensive end, that window to Sutton is shut down, and then you are buying time for someone to get over there. The fact that they didn't bring any pressure and the only answer was Bolton, as soon as Nick sees that no pressure is coming, then Bolton's on him. There's nothing, you can't stop it. It's a free play at that point in time. So like, not bringing pressure and then Bolton not working with the motion was a terrible either adjustment called, like coaching point, whatever it was. That play doesn't work against that motion right there. Even if it's not a quick motion, it doesn't work.
Primetime Rambo, Andy Reid has been utterly abysmal this year at coaching. Abandons the run again. He has no understanding of game flow this year. I think Andy's too comfortable with these close games. I just think he's too comfortable in these close games a little bit. You guys better not pick the Chiefs next week.
Yeah, probably not going to.
Ravens. Steve McMishad, make Andy waddle home after this coaching job. Oh, that one's mean. I shouldn't have read that one out loud. Sorry, Steven. Thank you for the support, though. Mahomes was so late on that wheel route to Smith.
Ooh, disagree. That's on the rookie running back because he's got to widen and sit. That's wide open. You can see Mahomes wants to throw it. This is one of the very, very few plays from this game that I'm going to give Andy Reid credit and say they had a right one here. And Brashard Smith not looking when Mahomes wants to throw it, and then he just keeps running up the sideline right into the safety that's trying to come over there and cover him. So by the time Mahomes throws it, it's just because the pressure's got there. Like that's an execution error, which is the whole problem. Like, yeah, the coaching has been bad, but on the field, the players weren't playing good either. Like, I get it. 7th round rookie, not a lot of experience. You can possibly expect a mistake like that to happen, but it's still a mistake. Like, that is entirely on the running back for not understanding how you play that out, because it was a free first down. Like, that one is a good Andy Reid maneuver right there.
Jack Girding, is it possible for the offense to look less difficult with this personnel and execution?
No. This is the problem. Everything's hard. It's so hard. The Broncos offense wasn't good, and it's never going to be good, but they have stuff that looks easy sometimes, right? Like the amount of times that they're going with these little rollouts, there's eventually going to be a wide open Evan Ingram on a slide route, or you're eventually going to have Pat Bryant rolling over the top of your linebacker away from a safety on the crosser. There's easy stuff. The Chiefs get so few easy plays, and the easy plays they get are because Mahomes rips a no-look RPO to Travis Kelce, so he pulls the curl flat defender out of the way by where his eyes are looking and still has to make it a no-look pass. There's nothing easy about it. It is one of the most difficult offenses to run and execute, and I think that goes a long way in the players not always feeling super comfortable and not executing at a high level.
Rough day at the office here for the Kansas City Chiefs, but you have an opportunity to go check this team get right. I'm calling all Chiefs fans. You could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to take a break. We're going to hear from Tucker D. Franklin right after this.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
Heather Luce, broker owner, KC Local Homes, and Emprise Bank has been a great partner for us. They're our partner in Possible. Debbie and I hit it off immediately, and she was one of the first bankers that I would say sat down with me and actually genuinely cared about my story and where I was coming from and what I was trying to do, not just what kind of loan do you need, how much equity do you have, and she really kind of laid out my options for me and just made the process make sense, and I felt comfortable with it. Start to talk about it and think about it, a building popped up that I wanted, that I could afford, and it was in a great area. And so they really guided me through the SBA. I used the SBA loan to acquire it and really guided me through that process and made it happen. I think that we talk about that a lot, where we wouldn't have a business. We wouldn't have what we have here if we didn't have the clientele that we do. I've always functioned out of a people over profits mentality. The houses sell themselves, right? Like, I'm here to help people and facilitate the transaction for them.
Chiefs Kingdom, what is your favorite touchdown? By now, you guys already know that my favorite touchdown is the next one, because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. You want spreads? They got it. Over-unders? DraftKings got you covered. Same-game parlays, regular parlays? DraftKings has it, and you need it. And here's the best part. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through per wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
Chiefs lose Super Bowl 52-80 to the Denver Broncos. Kent Swanson, Matty Lane now here with Tucker D. Franklin, and the lights are off, Tuck. Like the ambiance here, like the vibes are the lowest it's ever been here on the post-game show. What is this?
Well, if they're not going to put any effort into the product they put on the field, why should I put any effort into making my whole setup go? There's a lot to talk about from that game, and a lot that I am supremely frustrated about. And I spent that whole commercial break trying to think about where I wanted to start, because there are so many things, guys, that have me just absolutely fired up about this game. First, I think, Broad, this team is sorry. This is a sorry team. This is a sorry team because they just let Bo Nix manufacture a game-winning drive against them and lead the team down to win a football game against them. Sorry-ass Bo Nix led the game-winning drive against this sorry-ass Chiefs team. There's no other explanation for it. I don't think the Broncos are good, but they were clearly better than the Chiefs today. And I think that says a lot more about the Chiefs than it does the Denver Broncos. I think that's a big problem. I think that is a massive, massive problem, and it should be a wake-up call for everybody at One Arrowhead Drive. If it's not, that's a bigger problem, right? It should be a massive wake-up call. It was a malpractice on coaching and all sides of it, all three phases, a massive coaching malpractice. You're coming off of a bye week, and you let Bo Nix do that to you? You let Bo Nix do that to you after a bye week? You have that passive play calling after a bye week? You have 10 penalties after a bye week? There is so much in that football game that is frustrating. That is to no end. And Maddie, I think you hit on this. Nothing of that game was new. Nothing in that game was new that occurred for the Chiefs. They had a lot of penalties, and the special teams. Oh, the special teams. Don't get me started on these special teams. You got mistakes left and right. You're getting extra points blocked. You're getting kicks short of the landing zone. It's been 10 weeks that you have played, really, actually 10 weeks in a season that you have played with these kickoff rules. You're telling me you can't figure out how to land it in a landing zone? It's unacceptable. Frankly, it's unacceptable on all levels for how the special teams play. There is always penalties on the special teams side of the ball, and that puts this team constantly behind the 8 ball. The penalties on the offensive side of the ball, they always seem to stall out. They have untimely penalties on the defensive side of the ball. Just frankly, turned into just a really poorly disciplined team is what this has turned into. This has not been characteristic for the Chiefs in the last 5 years, and they are playing out of character, and it's become a character trait of this 2025 team, being undisciplined.
So I'm not entirely sure that it's all the way out of character, because like I think we've seen things like this in the past. I just think they've been talented enough to overcome a lot of them in the past. Like I feel like now, not
5-yard penalty in the past didn't sink this offense.
It does now.
Yeah.
It does now, and it's the inability to separate against man coverage. Rashee Rice had an awful game today. Awful game today from your best receiver.
Got more on that coming in a second.
I mean that was they had to play the Travis Kelce hits real hard to make this offense work a little bit here in the second half. Rashee Rice, key timely drops at the worst possible time. Just, I mean, no one getting open. They ran the ball well. Like,
not enough,
that.
but they did. No, okay. So I will say the running the ball thing. Yes, they should have run it more. I'm gonna make a quick excuse for it because we don't have 5 hours to do a show complaining about everything that was wrong. And if somebody else wants to, talk more about the run game, we all agree they probably should have run the ball more. I think they clearly only trust Mr. Kareem Hunt of the available running backs to run the football. And buddy, he's scraping himself up off that field, holding his back after every second run. I don't know how many more carries he has in that body for this game if you want him to make it until not even January at this point in time, to make it to Thanksgiving. I don't know if Hunt has a lot more carries in him. So we can blame the roster building on this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's no blame to go around. I don't know how many more carries you can give Kareem Hunt because he's coming out of off the field holding his back a lot, and they clearly don't want to run those other guys. So running game was a problem. I want to get back in more of these super chats because you guys send us a bunch. So I don't know where you stopped, Ken, if you want to find those. I got one more thing before we get to them though. The Rashee Rice thing. Hey, the Denver Broncos on their 3rd and 15 to end the game, what did they do? They found where Cortland Sutton was, and they got him isolated on the safety and got him one-on-one with the safety. On their next big 3rd and 6 play, what did they do? They got Cortland Sutton isolated on Nick Bolton and ran the ball to him. What are the Chiefs doing on their biggest plays? Trying to throw the ball to 7th-round rookie Brashard Smith while Rashee Rice is chipping a defensive end aligned as an H-back. Or he's lining up in the backfield running a fake shovel pass underneath off of play action while Brashard Smith runs out. The Chiefs are using him as if he's Kadarius Toney. Their number one wide receiver is being used like his name is Kadarius Toney for this football team. And then you have the team across from you, coached by Sean Payton, who's a good coach, a smart offensive mind. He's like, maybe on our 3rd down, maybe on our important plays, what are we going to do? We're going to try to get a good matchup for our best player. And the Chiefs are over here trying to figure out how to use Rashee Rice as some kind of movable piece that can line up in the backfield or at tight end instead of just having him go out there and play wide receiver. It's crazy.
And we can talk about usage even all we want, but that doesn't excuse the drops either, right? Like,
no,
some of these things, some things look better for Rashee Rice. Talk about usage even, but if you just catch the football, 2 really bad drops from him in this game, just brutal. Just a gut punch, man. That is just it's brutal.
Can I talk about something with that too before you hit the super chats? Yeah. I know we like to talk about how they finally have a full complement of weapons, but what if they suck? Like, what if they're not weapons? And like, that's the problem. Is that like you're saying, oh, this is the best weapons that Mahomes has, but are they? Doesn't seem like it.
I don't want to get too reactionary. Like, I still think Rashee Rice is one of the better receivers in football, but I think
we're not playing running back or H-back.
We probably got a little too over the skis with. I think we saw the holes in the game today, right?
We have 10 games of data at this point of what these weapons have been.
Not on Rashee.
Not on Rashee, but what these weapons have been. And the best one has been Tyquan Thornton.
By the way, shout out Tyquan Thornton.
Sure.
That dude showed a ton of heart in this game. Outstanding efforts.
Glad someone did.
Yes, because that dude deserved that big play down the field. He deserves to be on the field more. I bet you Tyquan Thornton goes out of bounds at the end of the first half. I bet you he doesn't try to make somebody miss, which would be the first time he's made someone miss all season.
Oh, I don't think Xavier Worthy's getting out from this one. You want to throw him a slide pass where no one's within 12 yards of him at the line of scrimmage, and he's only going to get 3 yards on this play because he tries to decelerate and make someone miss when 3 guys are closing in now? Like, all of the wide receivers had bad games. Like, they all did something stupid in this game, and I think this goes back to bad preparation. Like, Rashee Rice's drops aren't preparation. The fact that in the second half, they only got him 2 targets, one of which was the jet sweep thing behind the line of scrimmage in the red zone. Only 1 real target as a wide receiver because they were more intent on using him as a fake running back / H-back. That's a problem. Your game plan to come out and use Xavier Worthy for all these different things, but then completely go away from it in the second half. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? What's the goal? What's the goal of that?
Travis Kelce respectfully declined to talk post games to James Palmer.
That's good.
If you're going to ask me about the record, I could care less about that right now. Obviously, where things stand with the win-loss record is important to Kelsey. That is from James Palmer TV. Quotes starting to come out, so we're gonna keep an eye on those quotes. We'll be kind of keeping an eye on some of those quotes as they come. And we said we're gonna get to some super chats too, right? So
yeah, let's go through the rest of these.
Where did we end?
I don't know.
Are we on Aaron right now?
I don't know.
Okay,
Sorry,
I'll do it.
I'm trying to find it.
No,
I'm lost.
Aaron Kinney. Here's my astute analysis. This team is ass. Probably correct.
I'm gonna have to make a new tier on the ass list for this team. It's gonna be sorry ass, and it's gonna be probably below the Jets at this point because this team's a sorry ass team.
I don't know if we got to Jack Girding either here. Yep, we did. Sorry, my bad, Jack. Thank you, Jack. Dutch LV. Fulton and Mitchell both showed why they haven't been playing. So that's good use of free agency money.
Fulton was rough. I know. Bad bye week. What did we see during the bye week that said Fulton was better than Noel Williams? Like, there's what?
Okay. Robin G. Himmeyer. Why do they not go to Thornton over Worthy on deep balls? One of the main reasons we lost this game. They do go to Thornton over Worthy in deep balls because Xavier Worthy can't do that. I mean, Thornton got 2 opportunities in this game. It's like I think Thornton is your deep threat. And Mahomes overthrew him that first one. They had a chance for a big play. And like we talked about it, like, hey, man coverage, Tyquan Thornton, he's my player to watch because I thought, hey, they're going to give him a shot against man coverage in this game. And they did. And he looked great twice, made one big play.
Hey, in case you guys were wondering, hold on. Noel Williams, 0 coverage snaps. Christian Fulton.
Awesome.
Christian Fulton also had 0 coverage snaps.
They did go to Tyquan Thornton deep. I think they clearly want to use him more often deep than they want to use Xavier Worthy. But Xavier Worthy also runs a 4-2, and like he's going to be on the field because he's a solid-ish receiver sometimes. So like, yeah, when you put him out there, like he might go deep every now and then.
Joe, Tobe needs to go, man. It is not kickoffs, it's the field goals. There's always something, and it's been like that for a couple years now. Look, here's the thing about Dave Tobe, who gets a lot of roster control at the bottom of that roster. That's why Jack Cochran's employed. You've got every flavor of special teams era you've seen basically this season. You've seen big returns. You've seen penalties in every facet of the return game. You've seen blocked field goals. You've seen kicking errors and, kicking the ball not in the landing zone. All the detail in the return in the special teams has been abysmal, horrendous. And when your team isn't good enough to win the same way that they always have, the margins matter. And Dave Tobe's margins have mattered a lot more this season. Thanks to Derek Sutton. Tad Schrader, maybe. I thought the O-line was good. 74's penalty killed us, Bill. Ball out at 2, 15 pick in the red zone. Oh, yeah, another red zone turnover from the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have had 3 big red zone turnovers this season, and they're 0-3 in those games. And they're game-changing turnovers. And Mahomes had another 3rd interception in the red zone for Patrick Mahomes. Those are 2 bad ones on him and 1 on Kelsey this season.
I want to, I think probably save a lot of like the offensive line stuff. I probably for the lab tomorrow, just because it's going to be probably a little too positive than I think most people want to hear right now. I agree though. I thought the offensive line generally played pretty well. I will say, I thought Josh Simmons played great in this game. He had a tough matchup against Bonito and Cooper and everybody else they're sending. And I genuinely thought he played a really good game out there, especially in pass pro. The holding penalty that ended up being declined was, it was holding, but like it was pretty late in the snap. And like that was a second move by Cooper to get a little bit of pressure because nobody was open. So I thought Simmons played great. Taylor had a couple silly penalties that, they did stall drives, but they shouldn't have stalled drives. That's, you know what I mean? They did, but they shouldn't have. I thought the offensive line was generally pretty good. The ball was out so quick though. The Chiefs were playing so scared of this Denver team and the first 3 quarters of this football game. They're afraid. They're terrified of this Denver Broncos football team, but it might not just be Denver anymore. You think about it, like look at some of their games this year where the offenses look bad, Tuck. Like it feels like they go into a lot of games trying to say, okay, we're just going to take what you let us have, and we're not going to force you to do anything outside of your comfort zone. We are going to completely react to you and coach on our heels the entire game.
Well, it seems like they've stopped being the aggressor. I know that they tried some deep shots early and they didn't connect, and then all of a sudden they're just like, oh well, that didn't work. I know they ended up hitting. I don't know. They just stopped being aggressive on the offensive side of the ball. Like they were aggressive when they didn't really weren't really sure with Harrison Butker, right? Like, but they didn't put themselves in positions to be aggressive. Also, is the other part of it. So in this game, like that last drive that we saw the Chiefs offense take was horrid. It was bad, and that's the lasting impression that you're gonna have until they take on Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts next week in a really big game, and that's the last impression that you're going to have. And are they going to cower to the Colts and their defense? It seems like they will, because they did it to the Bills, and the Bills defense is garbage. The Bills defense is really bad. You saw them blow it against Miami. They let Tampa Bay score a lot of points. Now Tampa's a good offense, but they are so like that's a bad defense, and they cowered to them. The Broncos didn't have their best player on their defensive side of the ball. They didn't have Alex Singleton, who'd played 99.5 snaps. 99.5% of the snaps. He did not play in this game. He is their Nick Bolton for all intents and purposes. They didn't play in this game.
Speaking of snaps.
Frustrating, dude. So.
Derek Sutton, story of the game, 45 passes to 13 runs. That's Groundhog's Day again. Kawhi 543. It just seems that we no longer have any game plan anymore. We just show up, sling it, and hope for the best. Yeah.
So it seems like
no, and it is. And the game plan is quite literally like, oh, we're gonna see what you're doing, and then we're gonna take what you're letting us have. But like defenses in the modern NFL are gonna be like, okay, well, we're gonna let you have nothing fun, like nothing good. We're not gonna give you the stuff that like is going to be successful. And now you have teams planning for it. Oh, hey, by the way, now that you don't think we're gonna blitz you 14 times and get pressure on like all but 2 of them because you're never ready for it. It's such a piss poor, cowardly offensive approach right now. They are not forcing defenses to stop anything. They are just simply trying to find the holes that the defense is providing, and they're not executing good enough to take advantage of that consistently enough to have a good offense.
Dana Stennis, Coach Reed is looking like the Coach Reed from the last 2 years with the Eagles. No bueno.
I bet a lot of the headlines are the same.
Tad Schrader, 3rd round worth a playoff bid, and Adam Jewell says feels like they should have given up the 3rd for Brees Hall.
I don't think
No, it doesn't.
I don't think Brees Hall changes the math in this football game.
No,
unfortunately, and that 3rd pick might be higher than we think. That 3rd round pick might be a little higher than we're used to here in Kansas City if we're not careful. I want to read.
Picking top 10 right now. Sorry,
dude. We're getting all kinds of. We're getting some quotes here.
Yeah. Oh, and so many super chats. We appreciate you guys.
There's more super chats.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah. It just keeps rolling, buddy.
Oh my.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
This is like the most organic Chiefs Division of all time right now.
This really is.
This is what this has turned into. Just people being real pissed off, and I think it deserves it. People need it. Yeah. Watch that.
Zane Wing says this is not Pat. We're gonna have to go faster, guys. I'm sorry about this. Truthfully, it was not Pat's best game in my opinion. Spags did not blitz on 3rd down at all. Yeah, they tried to drop out a lot more today than they're used to, right? And that was not fun, and it didn't get them. And the Broncos had answers. Derek Turner. This is why EB was important, because he looks at the details. Maybe. Zane Wings, this makes the Brees Hall thing look even worse. Perry, since 2020, we have 21 losses, 17 of them with running backs under 20 yards.
When you're losing, you run the ball less. That just makes sense. That's
funny,
not like a...
Logan Mercer, damned if every team the Chiefs play ends up playing the best games of their season. I tell you what, the Chiefs were a good slump buster for the Broncos offense. That is for sure.
And the Bills defense.
Muno Mike penalties, play calling, run the effing ball. And
the Chiefs played like they were drunk.
Shout out Randy. Dude, this Muno Mike is on one today. Tucker.
This team is ass.
So
I'm trying to figure out where I'm
frustrating.
putting. I'm trying to figure out where I put sorry ass, and if it's gonna come in between mega ass or super mega ass, or if it's I don't know. Got to figure out. Maybe it's after ass, but they're a sorry ass football team, man. You're losing to Bo Nix.
Randy says, don't all these issues point to the head coach? Play calling,
Yes.
floor play calling, lack of focus and attention.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely does. JR, did someone ever keep track of how many flags there were in the first half?
There were 10. There were 10 flags in the first half in total. There were 20 for the whole game on both teams.
Michael Blair doesn't seem like they have the ability to be the aggressor against anybody but a bottom feeding team now. Yep.
Correct. But I think it's a choice too. I know we're trying to go quick, but I think it's a choice. I think they are actively choosing to go into games. Like maybe they can't do anything different, but it feels like they want to go into a game and say, what are you doing? And we're just going to counterpunch you. And the problem is they're not playing good enough on the field to counterpunch everybody, let alone a half decent team. Like they're kind of doing it themselves going into the game. And then once the game starts, it's just, that's the way it goes.
Green, can we finally stop using previous year's success to excuse bad play for the current year?
Oh,
yes, we can. This is the year. I can speculate on the reasonings why all day, but they're just bad. They're not good. They are stuck in second gear. That's a Friends quote, but that's just what it felt all season. They're stuck. They don't have the extra gear. They don't find it. They don't know how to find it. They expect that they don't it's like there's just some expectation that they'll figure it out, and they just haven't. Every time in every close game this season, they have not figured it out. They're 0 for 5, and against bad teams sometimes in figuring it out, and they just don't. We finally got to see this team start winning one score games, and it was a lot of fun, but now it's like either a non-one score game or it's a loss. And that is just that's not what we meant.
Actually, statistically, what it's been this year. Yeah.
Is this like the monkey paw thing that Josh talks about all the time? It's like all the Chiefs fans just wished for more blowouts, and we said yes. The genie granted us the wish. Yes, yeah. You will have 5 in the first 10 games. You're going to have 5 blowouts, but you won't win one single one-score game. That's what's happening right now. Thank you to ERS plugin. Sorry if I butchered that. Thank you for Joseph Jackson. Is this Andy not adapting, or is it Pat being scared by the past few years of ineptitude on offense?
Both.
Yeah.
Andy not. The NFL has spent a lot of time trying to catch up to essentially what Andy Reid has specialized in. It's not just because of the Chiefs, but the entire concept of going out of the cover 3, middle field close structure and playing the run first into how offense or defense is played right now is essentially designed to slow down what Andy Reid has done. And he has done a terrible job incorporating the things that 31 other teams are incorporating to beat that kind of defense. Now, in big games the past couple years, like in the playoffs, when you have to play with really small margins, that's how the Chiefs played no matter what, and they were able to out-execute them. This year, they haven't been able to. So yeah, I think it's a lot of Andy not adapting, and I do think you were starting to see that toll come across on Mahomes, and that he really does not want to throw the ball into tight windows. He really does not want to trust the design of the play if it is not into the perfect situation. And I think that has just come from years of kind of being beat down.
Yami Assassin. Going to the Colts game, I might end up booing. I know these coaches and staff have accolades with this team, but what changes should be made? Something needs to change. Maybe run basic plays.
They're doing that, so...
Ian H saying the team is stale and needs a shakeup. That is a conversation that needs to happen, because that's exactly what it is. I know he says Reed, Nagy, Spags, BY. I think he means Brett Veach. I think there's a few names on there that I think need to stick around, but I think most of those names need to stick around. But they need something different. They need to change some things up, and how they win football games doesn't work anymore, because it hasn't in any close game at all. The formula doesn't work. The talent on the defensive side of the ball isn't good enough anymore to do what they were doing. And offensively, I don't. Kelsey's aging hurts. It's just, and they don't have anyone really filling in that piece of it. And not necessarily like for like at tight end, but just period. There's no reliability in the same way. And that's why Travis Kelce got 9 catches today for 91 yards. And all of them but one were in the second half. I think Mahomes just said, screw it, I'm just going to start throwing these little short passes to Kelce. And it worked, but just didn't work enough. Holes Milk, or Holes Mike. It's a dog fight now to even make the playoffs. Can I do this real quick? Can I pause real quick?
Sure.
I've had this up. I've been reading. I'm going to read you the Jacksonville Jaguars remaining schedule. The Jacksonville Jaguars have a 1.5 lead on the Kansas City Chiefs. At Arizona, at Tennessee, home against Indy, home against the Jets, at the Broncos, at the Colts, home against the Titans. It's pretty gettable. It's a pretty gettable schedule there for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The margin is gone for this team.
The Jags could lose to a high school football team one week and then beat whoever wins the Super Bowl the next, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
By the way, just so you guys know, the Houston Texans also, if the season ended today, would have a tiebreaker on the Chiefs in the playoffs as well.
They'll play the Texans though, but still have the head-to-head.
Yeah, I'm just saying the margin's gone. Like the Houston game is now a playoff game. The Colts game is now
Every
a
game is
playoff
a playoff
game.
game now. Yeah.
Basically, every game's a playoff game. The Chargers game, playoff game. Just to make the playoffs and be the 7 seed and play the Broncos again in Mile High. Pathetic. I can't. The Broncos.
Look,
Disgusting.
I don't think that the Broncos are. I still don't think the Broncos are good. I think they're better than the Chiefs, but I think that says a lot more about the Chiefs than does the Broncos. I don't know if the Broncos are a good football team though.
Steven Steiner, are we sure Mahomes has weapons?
No, we're not.
Worthy is Hardman without the SPT factor, and Rice is a slant merchant. Brown and Thornton are the best receivers we have.
Slant boy.
Ooh, okay, you missed me with the Hollywood Brown one.
Yeah,
you missed me with the Hollywood Brown one, but
Hollywood Brown.
You might have me with the rest.
Perry, on the last play, they missed a false start. Yeah, Troy Franklin false started, and then he also pushed off.
Sure.
His push off was no more than Thornton's, so I'm fine with that one. The false start, though, I don't know how you missed that. That was pretty blatant.
Joe Duggan, they didn't lose because of refs. They lost because they suck. Joe Duggan, 23-24 will be the last Super Bowl with Mahomes as our QB. Wow, this is an intrusive thought. Mahomes' development was stunted as he entered his prime, and Andy is washed but unfireable.
Ooh.
Wow. I don't know.
There.
Matters a lot. That's a little too heavy for me right now.
A little too heavy, and I will disagree. The Chiefs had the chance to do. The Chiefs had the chance to do the funniest thing ever. There's more here. Jake O, can y'all talk about the implications of the blocked extra point? We were having a little conversation in the chat. I know, Maddie, you have takes. Yeah.
I just don't know, because like when the Broncos got the ball back down 3 and they tied it with the field goal, if they're down 4 there, they're coaching that differently. They're trying to run out the clock, and well, it's not just a play. They're calling the whole drive differently because the goal will be to run out the clock and score a touchdown, right? They're not going to play for that long field goal. Whereas when you're down 3, in your back pocket you have the field goal. So I think there's a chance that if they're down 4, they either go for it or they just go try to score, like they do something differently and score a touchdown. Now, at the end of the day, would it have been better for them to score a touchdown? The Chiefs gotten the ball back with a little bit more time, maybe, but then we also saw what this offense did when they got the ball back. So I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It didn't matter because the Chiefs had a chance to win the game when it was tied, and they failed and fell flat on their face.
Munamik is back. They seem to look for big plays and not look for what's there. Sorry, I'm faded, but I'm so pissed. Long-time listener, thank you for making my day at work. Thanks, man.
Are you faded at work right now?
Let's go.
That's awesome. I wish
Hope
I
you're not
was.
driving.
Oh, man.
Freaking taking pulls of this. Holy
boy,
cow.
there is that was a lot of super. There's more. Is there more? Oh, wait, sorry.
I think you got to the end of it.
I think you're there now, but
we have made it.
I was like, oh, wow. That is...
Whew.
I think we all needed to do this. So yeah, it's just
Good.
Man, it's uphill battle for the Chiefs, man, to just make the playoffs now. Like legitimately. I can't believe we're here, but like they're flat and they're stale. And and they don't have answers.
No.
They just don't have answers, man. And I don't know. I mean, they're not going to have teams that can play man cover. They're going to go against as many teams that can play man covers of the same ability as the Denver Broncos. But I think you're going to see a lot more man coverage here.
Shout out
another
Mike.
one.
Got another one. 14 carries, 62 yards. Pat had 1 for 3. Hunt for 13 for 59. 4.4 yards per carry. Yeah, I mean, again, we all think they should have run the ball more, I think. I am just proposing the theory that maybe Kareem Hunt's body can't quite handle a whole lot more than what it is right now. And theoretically, you would have Pacheco taking on some of the work, so maybe the run count would go up. They clearly do not trust Elijah Mitchell or Brashard Smith to run. Now, that's on the team for putting those guys on the roster. That's the team they built and went into the year with. So that's still on them just for this specific game. I wonder if they don't want to put more punishment onto Hunt.
Some quotes coming out. Andy Reid says Kingsley Suamataia got hurt on the interception, hit his head on the turf. I'd like to see if the dirty Denver Broncos, who are the dirtiest team in football, and Sean Payton is the dirtiest coach in the National Football League still, and Zach Allen is the dirtiest player in the National Football League still, who's rolled up on quarterbacks twice in the last 10 days. I'd like to see that play again, just out of curiosity, because I have a feeling. Patrick Mahomes having an opportunity to end the game and not coming through, just being better in that scenario. There are things here and there, but I think that's the biggest one. You want opportunities, but I didn't come through. Yeah, another big turnover. I mean, he's taking ownership. Patrick Mahomes saying it's going to be a tough week to get back into the division race.
According to Next Gen Stats, they have a 10% chance to win the division. No.
No, they don't. That's fake. All you can focus on is next week. We've got to learn as much as possible, knowing that we've got a great opponent coming into Arrowhead next week. Oh yeah, at least it's the Colts next week. At least it's like the. Did you call Maddie? Did you call them the B+ 24 Eagles? Was that you?
No, I don't think so.
Someone called them the B+ 2024 Eagles, and I think that's hilarious because that's kind of what they are.
Gosh.
I've
been trying to ban this dude in the chat.
Tuck's executing like the Chiefs right now.
I've been trying to ban this thing in the chat, and I just kept clicking on comments. Holy cow.
Charlie, shout out. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, we can be in. I feel like Chiefs fans are probably a little lower than Chargers fans right now. I mean, like, I know the Chargers got all the injuries, but we're, for a team that's got a lot of Super Bowls.
That's the thing. They're supposedly fully healthy, and the Chargers at least have at least we're hurt. So like that's why we're not playing good. We're playing Trevor Penning. The Chiefs don't have that. We're ass. We're bad. Sorry ass football team.
God. Okay.
Yeah, Chris, tough game, I think, for us, most importantly, coming together as a team.
Sure.
Self-evaluation, which is the whole point of the bye week. And sense of urgency, which is also the whole point of the bye week, at an all-time high. The moment right here is pivotal for us as a team. It's so easy to point fingers, especially after a loss. Chris Jones also says on the execution, 3rd and 15, we've got to get off the field. Fourth quarter, we've got to get off the field. Yeah.
Thanks.
That's true. All those from Charles Goldman providing quotes from the locker or from the press conferences. So shout out to Charles Goldman.
Jackie, Chris Jones did have a good football game. He did. Yeah. Chris Jones, good job.
Yeah. Did have a good football game for the first time this year. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris balled out. George balled out.
In the first half, I think the pressure started to wane a little bit there in the second half, and then part of that was that Denver just kept spamming play action with slides and screens in the flats. But hey, that's up to your coach to figure out how to stop it because that's what the Broncos do, and he did not.
And then they just dropped out to trust that pass rush in the most pivotal moments twice in that game. So
yeah, well,
all right, let's close this thing out. Tucker, final thoughts.
I'm going to record a podcast with Matt Verderame here in a little bit. That should be a good one. I still got plenty to say, and I'm probably just going to save it for that show. So if you want more extended thoughts on how sorry this football team is, as the Kansas City Chiefs are now 5-5 with Patrick Mahomes as their quarterback, listen to that football show on Monday morning. We'll have that for you.
Maddie.
I mean, yeah, lab's coming tomorrow, so we'll get a lot more real thoughts on that. This was like a nice little venting session. I don't even know if we accomplished all of that we needed to. I just poorly coached team, poorly planned team, poorly executing football team. It's a very, very bad football team right now, and like boy, they need to do some long soul searching and figure out what needs to change. If it's something that can be done mid-season, they need to do it now. Didn't come in during the bye week, apparently. And if not, next year's got to look different. Like, they can't keep doing this anymore. So, like, they got to, hey, this is a long flight back to Kansas City, staring in the mirror and figuring out why this is the way it is. But, like, they got to figure something out. It's not working.
Playoffs. That's going to do it for this episode of the KCSN postgame show. Thank you all so much for listening, watching, supporting. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for the Chiefs to this. It was a little cathartic. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll catch you later.
I appreciate you going for it. That was a rough Jim Mora.
Playoffs.